Ralph and I were involved in a music club, and there was a train track right about 10 feet away from the room, which is very much like this. So we told all the performers, have a train song, at least one, because the train's going to come through. Okay, I guess are we ready?
Only if you are, sir.
Well, okay, pressure. I saw the feather river glide over shining golden sand, struck a silver ribbon wide, held a million in my hand, from beside the looking for always take. Nothing drives a gambler like the loving of the game. All my life I ran around, searching hard from town to town, but I never ever found anything to drag me down. Wouldn't trade my time for solid diamond plate. Wouldn't trade a fortune so long, darling, don't you cry. I hope things pan out for you. All the good times going by. We've got to have ourselves a few. From God has no end. Seeking has no name. Treasures not to take. It's the loving of me. I saw the feather river glide over shining golden sand, struck a silver ribbon wide, held a million in my hand.
Este Mundo, maybe.
Este Mundo. Oh, okay. This is
Who's that last one by? That last song?
Pat and Victoria Garvey wrote this in the late 19s, or that Lovin' of the Game in the late 1960s. And my connection with it is really odd because they split up 50-some years ago, and she ended up marrying a guy named Don Armstrong, who was a friend of mine, and I used to sing a song by Pat Victoria Garvey called Silver Heels.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned it to Don Armstrong, and he said, "We've never done that." And I said, "Do you want to know it?" And he said, "Sure." So I said, "Call me on the phone." So on the phone, I sang him Silver Heels, and then, anyway, that's how I got to know him. But their version is just spectacular, you know. I just wish I could sing, you know.
You're doing fine, man.
I think I mentioned when I go in the studio to record, I asked the engineer, I said, "Look, press that Merle Haggard button." And, you know, and I still end up sounding like Dwight Eisenhower with a cold. Oh, anyway, this song is kind of a medley of my hit. It's a very strange way this thing came about. I have a friend in Seattle. His name is John Sparrow. John was reading in the Franklin Delano Roosevelt WPA papers. For those of you who are not familiar with the WPA, it's the Works Progress Administration. It hired out of work everybody. Actors, construction men, miners, singers, dancers, you name it. Writers, especially, to go around the United States and do just that, to interview people. And one of the WPA writers came to New Mexico and interviewed a guy named Nicholas Lopez in middle 1930s. Question was real simple: what was life like when you were young? And Lopez in 35 was probably 75, 80, something like that. Old.
Speak for yourself.
And Lopez said, "Oh, we had all the water we needed. There wasn't any water companies to sell it back to us, and we used to grow sugarcane on the Rio Grande," which I didn't know. And then when the sugarcane was ripe, they would have dances, ballets, and they called them, and they would crush the sugar in these mortar and pestle things where the children would ride on the arms before OSHA, and crush that stuff. And Lopez's dad made him quit school in the 6th grade to be a vaquero out on the Rio Puerco, which is west of Albuquerque. And Lopez says, "I fooled my dad. I took a book with me." He was gonna read while he was tending cattle. And throughout the interview, he kept saying "Todo pasa en este mundo," which, for those of you who are monolingual, is everything changes in the world. And he was resigned in 1935 that the world he knew as a child was gone. Anyway, Sparrow wrote a poem and sent it to me. He says, "Make a song out of this." And I said, "Okie dokie." So this is Este Mundo. When I was a niño in Agua Fria, we had all the water we need, and the willows grew on the Rio. From Cienega, clear up to Santa Fe. And I tended me Padres cattle from Los Tortillos to Arroyo Hondo. For a month I slept on the saddle, the hair like a wild buffalo. dancers from all of the ranches to the pasta. This day, how I love to be home when the presses were turning, and everyone they brought in their cane, and the pestle fires were burning. Children, they laughed on the beams, and those were the best, oh, the very best of the good times. Oh, memories my spirit will hold. And as the syrup boiled out, all we danced about, wonderful stories were told. El Indio, Antonio Dominguez played a sweet violin long ago for the dancers from all of the ranches to the pasta and the stadium. When I was young, we had all the water we'd need. Now the water companies, they take it away. And we grow our corn, we grow our beans now, just by the grace of God's rain. And I know that He knows what He's doing. Oh, everything that comes as it goes. And I'll live as I will die beneath that same sky till the blossom this day. El Indio, Antonio Dominguez played a sweet violin long ago for the dancers from all of the ranches to the pasta and stay. This day moon.
And who came up with that beautiful melody?
Well, yeah, in the chorus. And I'm going to brag a little. Have you ever heard of a guy named Willie Carlisle? Any of you? He was just on the Opry a month ago. And he's all of 31, and he claims me as a mentor.
Oh.
He does that song with his accordion. If you ever have a chance to see or hear him, do it, because he's really, really a good guy. His songwriting reminds you of John Prine and Hal Ketchum rolled into one.
Wow.
You know, it's not just riding off into the sunset nonsense. It's got some thing to it. You know?
What was his name again?
Willie Carlisle.
Willie Carlisle. We'll look him up.
And I used to play with his father in the back before airbags on cars in the 1970s. In fact, I always told Willie this, you know, all musicians have got horror stories. Well, here's one. I was playing with Bob, Willie's dad, on a hay wagon in rural Kansas with a fog, and there were 200 people there and you couldn't see one of them. It was like we're playing to each other.
Cool.
And there'd be this smattering of applause, and they realized that we've got no future here.
Again, the tune, the melody and the chorus of that last tune is Steve's, and I'll just remind folks, it's on an album back there, which I think is called Este Mundo, I think.
Yeah. You would be my agent.
I'd rather be your marshal.
For a small fee.
Well, I pay my theatrical agent 10%, but she doesn't. 10% of $4 isn't much.
There you have it.
Oh, this next song is a kind of put together about some things I know and some things I'm not so sure of. It deals with horses. There's a famous cutting horse strain called Bar. That's the name of the sire, Bar. He was a racehorse himself, and he wasn't successful, but he sired all these famous cutting horses. It's just the way it worked out. I never had a Bar, but the other horse in this song is a Hancock from a sire called Joe Hancock, which is in North Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And I had one of those, a good horse. Now the other thing which I was intimately associated with is quicksand. And on a number of occasions I had to get cattle out of quicksand. Let's dispel the Hollywood myth. Quicksand doesn't take you in over your head. Quicksand, if you're a bovine and stupid and you walk into it, it takes you down to your belly, which is where you will stay until one of two things happens. One, a cowboy comes along and digs you out, furiously digs you out, avoiding your horns because you're blaming the cowboy for being in the mud. That would be the good thing, and it's hard on them, but you got to do it. The other thing that can happen is a coyote comes along with a bib and an apron and a very short menu and a knife and fork, and then it's kind of all over. So this is called Bar and Hancock. And yes, I stole a tune. I asked my love, take a ride down by the sandy side with my Bar stud and her Hancock mare. I aimed to ask her hand so fair, was the chorus, and only say that you'll be mine. Listen now. As we ride along the Rio Grande, and our love it will entwine the Rio Grande. There you go. And as we rode, the dock bar stud pranced and danced and stepped too close. In the quicksand there, in a little boat, we struggled hard, but he could not float. And only say that you'll be mine as we ride along the Rio Grande. And our love it will entwine as we cinch up on the Rio Grande. There's some cinching music there. Well, she grabbed her rope and she played it out, swung it hard and brought it down on my saddle horn, and she dallied around, pulled us out on solid ground, and only say that you'll be mine as we ride along the Rio Grande. And our love it will entwine as we sit on the Rio Grande. Well, one grateful guy, one roping gal, one seriously tuckered out stud, one winded mare, pledged their love forevermore along the sandy Rio Grande River shore. And only say that you'll be mine as we ride along the Rio Grande. And our love will entwine as we cinch up along the Rio Grande. We cinch up along the Rio Grande. It's a bit of hypocrisy on my part because I always maintained that the best cowboy songs were ones that ended in tragedy. And I broke my rule on this. Please forgive me.
Nobody died.
Huh?
Nobody died.
I know.
What's going on?
Not even, well, you know.
Hey, a rule's no good if you can't break it. Let's think about that.
Yeah, well, it's my song. I can do with it what I want.
Hey, amen, amen.
So, I have played all over the state of New Mexico. Heck, I played all over the various parts of the country, but New Mexico. And one of the places I played was a little town called Folsom, which which 115 years ago had about 1,000 people. Now it's got 40. It's was destroyed by a flood in 1909. But the real story is the woman who saved the lives of hundreds. Her name was Sally Rook. Sally Rook was moved to Folsom from Iowa, and she had scoliosis of the spine. She was at curvature, so she got a job as a telephone operator in the town. they put the mechanism in the house she was living in. And, you know, you wanna talk to the Johnson Ranch, you ringy, and Sally comes on and says, let me talk to the Johnson Ranch. Okay, you know, connect her and stuff. And one night, a huge storm came off of the mesa in back of Folsom. And the dry Cimarron Creek, which I stepped across when I played in Folsom, that's how small it normally is, became 5 feet deep and a half-mile wide. It just crashed down onto the town. She was called by one of the ranchers west of town saying, get out, save yourself, there's a water wall coming. She could have. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it wouldn't have been that hard to leave her telephone operator's position and just go up another 15, 20 feet and she would have been saved. Instead, she started calling everybody that she could. The estimates are she saved several hundred. She herself was killed, along with 18 others. Washed down the stream. They found her in a sandbank. And her burial was paid for by other telephone operators from around the United States. They sent dimes to help pay for her funeral. 3,854 dimes showed up. I mean, what a mound. I mean, it's got to be a huge mound of dimes. And so they put a monument up to the state just a few years ago, about 10 years ago, built a monument to her. The point here is she's a hero. She's a heroine. Not Billy the Kid, not Jesse James, not Frank James, not the Daltons, not Cole Younger. None of them. She is. There. And by the way, there's a chorus on this if you. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rook. No one will care that you've been. My little town, friends all around. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rook. Now Iowa was too cold for your health. Folsom courted you, won your heart. Short walk in your house to the telephone exchange. Gracious life can be in this town. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rook. No one will care that you've been. My little town, friends all around. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rook. Now the dry Cimarron is a tiny stream, weaving in and out of the town. How easy it all was, watching folks ride by, not knowing what the stream had in store. But the rains came down, just like God was there, filling the stream a half-mile wide, ripping and tearing and taking what it would, crashing down the wash of the town. Welcome to fancy bed. Quiet little town, friends all around. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rue. You found her miles down the valley. Your bed back told them of the fate, and the dimes that were sent paid her final rent, but no one ever came to take her home. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rue. No one will care that you're dead. A quiet little town, friends all around. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rue. Welcome to Folsom, Sally Rue. Welcome to Folsom, Sally. Let's do Cowboy's Prayer. Let's do one more.
Right with you, right with you.
Turn these people into shoplifters or something. So this is another sing-along, by the way. And as soon as I can find my damn capo.
Did you say Cowboy's Prayer?
Yeah.
Cowboy dress, Cowboy's Prayer.
Yeah.
Cowboy's Prayer, yeah.
Looking for capo? That famous
I
old.
found it. It's in there with my lunch.
Oh, very good. Playtex Living Bar.
One of the advantages of wearing a vest is you get to pack everything in there. And it's usually where you find stuff that you've lost. You know, you put the vest up in the closet and you wonder, I wonder where that receipt was for those pair of socks that I tried to take back and couldn't because they were wrong size. Well, the receipt's in there. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. It's reaffirming to me, and I hope to other folk singers, that this stuff is still alive, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's our leaders.
Say, Steve, can I ask you a musical question? May I ask you a musical question?
Go.
What the hell's a dogie?
A dogie is a young calf
Why they call it that?
because somebody wants to.
All right.
I don't know. It's like asking, why does a dog lick himself? Because he can.
Right.
I mean, you know, say that to your 7-year-olds. Well, why do I have to do it? Same reason a dog licks himself. Why? Because he can. That doesn't make any sense, Dad. Last night, as I lay on the prairie and looked at the stars in the sky, I wondered if a cowboy would drift through the sweet by and by. Roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on. they say there will be great roundup, and cowboys like doggies will stand to be marked by the riders of judgment who are posted in gold and gray. Roll on, roll on, roll on, little doggies, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little doggies, roll on. I'm scared I'll be a stray yearling, and maverick on branded on high, and get caught with a bunch of the rusties when the boss of the riders goes by. Roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little doggies, roll on, 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 little doggies, roll on. Last night, as I lay on the prairie and looked at the stars in the sky, I wondered if a cowboy would drift to his feet by and by. Roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, little doggies, roll on, 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 little doggies, roll on, roll on, little doggies, roll on.
Mr. Steve Cormier, thank you. Well done, well done. That's awesome.
Can I request just one more?
Oh, Lord.
Calico
Is this an encore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mimi Farina once told me, this is the only time you get an encore is when you go back to your dressing room and you touch the wall and they're still clapping. Okay, all right. If you don't mind, we'll just do one more. This is a tearjerker, sort of. But the nice thing about tearjerkers is that it cleans out your system. Because then you can say, see how bad off that person is? Not me, it's that person. I can relate to that, but it isn't me. I've got a car that starts. That was a joke, never mind. Okay.
Can we tell them you wrote this one?
Oh, I
Or
wrote
are you
it.
gonna tell them? Okay.
I done wrote it. This is all of my unrequited loves rolled into one, I guess. I get into town whenever I can. First thing I do, I head for the barber shop. I get a shave and a tub and then down to the stone wall. Steak and a beer, and then a night of dancing. Hold someone near. It was there I met her, in that calico dress. She could dance a schottish, like you should have seen her waltz. Sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out of sight. Just one more look, that calico dress, sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out of sight. For just one more look at that calico dress. Said her name was Mary, and she ranched west of town. Only got in when the need arose, and she said that she liked it out there, the choya and the sand. Said gave her peace of mind, be alone. Sell my horse and saddle, got driving out. Just one more look at that calico dress, I'll sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out. For just one more look at that calico dress. Well, we danced the whole night, Mary and me. Fancy stepping fools, very definition of art. And I can still hear the caller shout, hear the fiddle ring. The first light she rode left with my heart. Sell my horse and saddle, cow driving for just one more look, that calico dress, I'll sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out of sight. For just one more look, that calico dress. I think about her a lot. It's been 37 years since we had that dance, and I wonder if she went modern, got electric lights. She still reads the Bible like kerosene at night. Sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out of sight. Just one more look, I'm gonna go dress, I'll sell my horse and saddle, cow driving out of sight. Just one more look, gotta go dress, for just one more look. calico press.
Thank you, Bill West, on the board back there, hospitality. Eat up, drink up.
It was a pleasure. Man, thanks, guys.
It was our honor, man. It was our honor. I'll move this off the.
Just really. Some of the bass like this.
I'll move this out so we make it easier for people to get to.
I noticed how streets of people are that stable.
I don't know, I'm not even sure that it's traditional.
Great to see you again, Steve.
Okay, stay in touch.
Wonderful show, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.